Turnabout memories. Okay. I think I gotta lower the volume a little bit, though. My apologies if you saw that. Huff, huff. How did I get into this mess? Arg. Why? Why did I do that? Oh. Huh? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Awkward pause. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. It wasn't me. I didn't. Oh, look at little Phoenix! I didn't do it. Sorry. He's so little. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. Rip, dude. Sorry, my setup's kind of weird. I'm gonna change it a bit. Whoop, there we go. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning.
Ah, Mia, please, calm yourself down. Calm them titties. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know.
What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed.
Let go of my
lapels? Lapels? Dave Chappelle's. Let go of my Dave Chappelle's.
You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night.
Are you excited to play as Mia? Yay!
Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday, about the case, I mean.
What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that. You see, I mean, of course I have, I think.
Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client.
Oh, he's so cute.
Good morning there, everybody.
Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia.
I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine, no prob. Achoo! Achoo!
Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye?
Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says.
Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you.
Please let go of my shirt.
That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'll win. For my client, and for myself. Aww, poor little Phoenix. Sorry. No! Phoenix equals Bear Grylls. No!
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution's ready, Your Honor!
Sorry. It's just how I feel when I look at Payne.
The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense.
Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you?
Yes, well... Sorry, I just read your reaction like, Jesus Christ. Yes, well...
You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll be all over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. Oh, I'm sure he had a lot of friends with that one. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence.
You gotta love the names, though. They're so great.
By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
He fell. That's the cause of death. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. I can't read words like that. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death?
What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Oh, they're gonna test me on court record stuff now, I think. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a gentleman, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
Ah, a perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on.
Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Okay.
Please say you know that at least that much.
I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
Oh, my hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here, the details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you?
Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by touching the court record button. Stop breaking the fourth wall, Mia.
All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just touched the court record button here.
Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
Asphyxiation. Hypothermia. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super-powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as the trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood?
What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you. He is one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know.
Rookie killer? Okay, he can't even do that.
Now then, let's hear from the defense.
Oh, thanks, Boitano. How have you been? Hello, by the way. That all came backwards.
What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I'd like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence?
No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are also as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence, blah 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 blah. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix and the victim?
Let's check profiles out. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Hey, Jonah. Take that! Oh, her take that is so cute. Sorry. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. I know I give Mia a deeper voice in the other games, but I figure she's a little bit younger here too. And I'm basing it off of her take that and stuff like that. She sounds a little bit higher than a French accent. What?
Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. I don't know if I can do a French accent. I don't know. I don't want to insult anybody. I don't like insulting people. Even when I do other accents, I feel bad. Welcome back, Neo, if I didn't say it.
Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on this much, at least. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright.
No, I didn't get a new mic. Why? Does it sound different?
But up until 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
Why? Do I sound different?
He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye?
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
Aww.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, achoo, achoo, achoo! I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swallow. But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... Achoo! 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 Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor.
Oh my. You guys.
I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe.
Really?
I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer.
Phew. Looks like the judge understands.
You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh?
It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
And that would be...
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Cross-examination?
He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record.
But Mr. Wright is my client.
Even if he's your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying the testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction? Hey, Quinny!
Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay.
Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Sorry. I'm gonna save really quick. Can I just save it here? I'm gonna save it on the same save state, maybe. I'll do another one just in case, but it's easier that way. Mr. Wright, you staled you staled? Oh my god! You staled. That makes no sense. Why would I read it that way? Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
That's right. I mean, why would I even...
But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? This is beautiful. Achoo! You staled the Cheetos. I can't help it. We just finished playing stale grapes. Well, Mr. Wright?
No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I'll give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... Burn my bread. He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt.
Let me take a look at the evidence again. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack?
Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. Wow, you guys, wow. You're so mean. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back.
Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing.
I was under the impression that you accidentally came across his body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me.
Please forgive me! Mia, you've made our client cry!
Let him! That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix. Sorry, let him! That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright is all wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Uh-oh. Did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but...
Maybe I should give him a more sickly sound, like he's stuffy.
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Oh, it's okay. Thanks, Quinny. Enjoy your food.
Phoenix is a P.
Nice reference.
Well, Actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere.
He lost it? Does this mean... Does this have anything to do with the case?
Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at a look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belonged to.
What?
Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it.
What?
Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been the to identify his killer as Phoenix. Right, I had to burp, I'm sorry. My apologies, Your Honor.
Order in the court.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Bun One He Keg, that was its name. Alright.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this?
This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids.
The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different than the testimony you gave previously. Achoo! 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 I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Living up to the gross in his name. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45?
Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. King crazy! Ho-ho, how fascinating! He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department.
Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though.
A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. Oh, thank you! Sorry I didn't notice earlier that Phoenix was really sick and not just, I should have pulled that voice out earlier. But I'm glad you like it.
That's right. They sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere.
High-voltage cables?
Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof.
Finally, I think we're getting somewhere.
Is that what happened? He's actually
He's actually Edward Elric. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch?
Huh? What does that have to do with anything?
You can never be too sure.
I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Youch! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
I think that's enough for now. So, the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then, the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. What? Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Faye?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Huh, of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
Take that!
Sorry. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
Right above him.
Take that!
Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their Rip. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage, and because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well... Oh, 1 second, I hear the doorbell. I don't usually answer the door, but let me just make sure it's not my parents or something. Sorry, I got kidnapped and turned into a TV. Turned into a TV. That's the plot twist lost in this Persona story. I got turned into a TV and then I had to face myself and then I'm that human again. God damn it, I can't even tell stories properly. I'm so mad. I'm trying to take a drink and I can't. Wouldn't it make sense the ultimate gamer turns into a TV or some kind of game console? God damn it, I had it all figured out and I'm like, I'm gonna say this when I get back and I ruined my own story. I'm so upset. It was so perfect. Why did I turn into a TV? I'm sorry. Okay, back to the game, shall we? Let's forget that I turned into a TV, thanks. You don't understand how angry I am right now. Well, I believe some praise is in order. Listen! Don't toy with me, old man. Please tell your future children this story. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant! Achoo!
That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. Hello. Wait, Alter, what are you talking about? No! The cable was used by a TV. No! No! As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. Ah, you mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order! 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 That's enough! I think we can conclude that there's no real reason to continue with the cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg?
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show's over, Mia.
I turned into a TV. His palm print, it's spaghetti. Oh wait, what story are you talking about? Do you mean the one that I just messed up, or do you mean the story of this game right now?
I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
How dare you, Grossberg? How dare you? I will shove something up your ass right now. Don't talk about my lawyer husband that way. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict. In this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Oh, so I went to go answer the door because I heard the doorbell, or at least go to check who it was. So I was gonna come back, just on my way back, right when I got in the room, I was thinking, oh, I'll tell them that I got kidnapped and thrown into a TV, but I faced myself and then got a new persona thing, but I accidentally said I turned into a TV. So I ruined my own story, and that's it. That's what happened. No. Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be...
It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Miss Faye.
Aww, look at the phoenix face. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. There you go. We've already established the defendant's guilt. I love CRTs. Stop it! How do you keep doing this? How do you keep the joke fresh still? You guys are too much, too funny. Too much, too funny. Much funny, very wow. Very LOL. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Wright.
I'll tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... Sorry.
I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow's dead.
Much TV, many lol.
That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your own sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. Sorry, I guess he's,
You're lying!
Just listen to me. There's something you need to... He was just magically not sick for a second. You need to know about that girl.
A Nanosonic! Don't talk about her like that!
Push!
That was a very powerful push, Phoenix. Nanosonic. I can't. I don't... What are words? Hello, by the way. I'm apparently a TV. No, I was a TV. I faced myself and I got my persona. I just went about it differently than the party of Persona 4.
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
Please! Please give me one last chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you.
Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
What? Shut up. Shut up, Grossbrick. Let's see. I don't know. All these TV questions.
That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. Shove. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead.
Plasma screen and 3D. Oh, thanks. Well, that explains... Well, the explanation is really quite simple. I'm a smart TV. This is so flattering in the weirdest way. Doing well. How are you? Beware of... Yep. Seriously.
When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it.
That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that'll prove it. Ooh, Bravely Default. Again, I have to get back to that game. There's so many 3DS games I have to play, though. Am I a Juness TV? Only if Yosuke wants me to be. You're thinking exactly what I was thinking. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I read that all really weird, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure, but it was really loud.
Hey, Zach!
It was like snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
Objection!
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. What do you think I should do? Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was.
How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been...
Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us.
When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding.
Yes, just keep showing me this push. It'll make me very happy. Yeah, I heard about that already, Zach. No worries. I heard that it was great up until a certain part, and then it started to get really stale. I think Hajime beat it, so he told me he was enjoying it up to a certain point. How long is this game? Pretty long. We're not going to go through it all today. We're just doing, we go by case, usually.
He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kinda like the owner.
Ooh, shots fired. Oh, no worry, Gadzooks, I know that feel. Plus, you know, like I said before, Zestiria in 2 days. I think Fatal Frame 5 is in 4? Whew.
Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Faye.
No, I've played it before, Zach. I've played, like, the only game I have not played in the Ace Attorney series is Investigations 2, which I'm gonna try and play, for you guys here on stream, because I have the English patch. But, no, and the only one I haven't finished, I guess, is, the one on 3DS. But I haven't played Trials and Tribulations in a very long time. I don't know. We'll see. It's one of my favorite ones, though. Oh, I haven't finished Persona Q either. I think I'm on, like, the 3rd dungeon.
Is there something important in that testimony just now I can read?
Well... This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. No, I am from Canada. I am Canadian. Hello, by the way. Thank you. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
So after I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. I love how he has to point out that it's a cheap umbrella. Did he actually fall on his umbrella, Phoenix? Are you lying? Phoenix, there's no umbrella under him.
Objection!
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning?
Come on, if I had mentioned that.
I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Canadian from East West. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. In West Torontonia, born and raised. No, your English is fine. Don't worry about it. You're doing fine.
Order! 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 The victim, he moved?
You're stuck? Where? Oh, see, you're on the third dungeon. I think that's where I am too, Alter, actually, now that you... Get out of here, Mo.
Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Up your butthole, Your Honor. Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately.
No, not my first time playing this game. Just been a very long time. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way I almost bit my tongue. Holy shit. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
I know this is this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but my dog is barking. But as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No! Sorry.
However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
She didn't. I didn't bite my... I almost said I didn't bit my tongue.
Well done, Mia.
No dogs in court. Well, you know what? Snowy doesn't listen to rules.
Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean... Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. She is one of my favorite characters in the entire series, by the way. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Nice hair flip, Mia. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. Okay, Akihiko, slow down. You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that?
Who is this witness? It's Snowy. He wouldn't help.
I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we'll listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there.
It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. By the way, please don't spoil anything about characters if it hasn't come up yet, okay? I know this is an older game, but try not to. There's some people that have not seen the Phoenix Wright series before and are watching this for the first time, so, yeah, please don't ruin anything about characters or anything before it actually happens. Thank you. This has been not a PSA, but a warning. Who's my favorite? I really love Phoenix. I really love Maya. I really love Pearl. Of course, everyone loves Mia. I don't know. I love a lot of characters. There's a lot of lovable characters in this series. I love Gumshoe and Edgeworth and Dahlia and I don't know who else. I can't really. There's so many. There's so many.
Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy? You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is by Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will.
Why do you think that?
Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why.
I'm glad you like Mia. This is actually the third one, but obviously right now this case is taking place before Phoenix became a lawyer, so it's a little bit of a prequel right now. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Sure, no problem. Dahlia and I, we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse.
Aw, she's so pretty.
Actually, studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day she and I just bumped into each other in the reading group downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. But not the one for you, Bot. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly.
It certainly is a little bottle, all right.
It makes me so happy I show it to everybody I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world.
Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating?
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it?
Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you...
This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse.
What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder?
What's my favorite case? Ah, nice! A lot of people don't really like that case, but that's interesting it's your favorite. I don't know if I can pick a favorite right now. Maybe after I play through the series, I can tell you what my favorite one is.
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some relationship between these two cases, am I correct?
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. Actually, hold on a second, Mr. Grossberg. Let's check this shit out. Very Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Okay. I need to finish this myself.
Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Okay. This is actually longer than usual trials, but we're gonna keep going. Save. Save failed. Well, okay then. I guess I won't fail. I won't fail nor save. How do I move on from this? How do I move on from? Can I not? Oh, there. No. Okay, no. I don't know why that didn't work. It's okay. I have save states.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls me... We all know that's a lie. I won't fail. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
Save turned into the TV. Damn it! Oh, she's so pretty. Yeah, at first. It worked after, so I'll try it after. What's with this stiff silence?
In my long career as a judge, I've been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
Now to figure out a voice for her. Probably cute, but I don't know where else to go. She's probably gonna sound similar to somebody else I've voiced before. I can't believe he actually said that.
Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I'll bash them with my gavel.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
Not at all! It was nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor's all mine! No, the honor's all mine.
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That's one of my favorite references. I just remembered it. Thank you, Mia. That was beautiful. I freaking love that reference. Sir?
Is there something I can help you with? You just go and say whatever's on your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that.
She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. I didn't even have to read that reference. Like, I just knew how it ended. I love it.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
Nice, Evie. Okay, Alter. But she's so cute. How could that be possible? I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities. See you later, Alter. Have a good one.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth.
But I would never.
Hold it! That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey.
What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. L-Psi kangaroo to you too.
Oh, 1 second.
Sorry, my throat got a bit scratchy there. Must be all the voice acting. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry at me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? Oh, gee, thanks.
What? I would never.
Miss Fey, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear any noise either.
You say you didn't hear any noise. Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
What is this? Oh, I can't see what it is. Here, 1 sec. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna save that for later, but oh my god. Okay. Brilliant find, Alter. Brilliant find. If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
But according according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ah!
May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet, so the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out.
By the way, I hope you think her voice is okay. I guess I'll give a reason as to why I'm doing her voice the way I am. I don't know. As you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Oh? Did you take care of it? Oh, you did. Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Thank you. Welcome back. Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Oh, I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? Sorry. This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, a victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at the location.
Oh no, I'm fine for now, Clock. It's just my throat did something. Oh, you're in France. Oh, you should go to sleep. You shouldn't stay up too late. Well, if you want, I record all of my streams and I put them on YouTube, or at least most of them. This one will definitely be on YouTube. So if you want, you can always check it back later if you want to see how it ends.
His objection's creepy?
Yeah, well, pain's pretty creepy in general.
It's suddenly really hot. I've been cold all day and it's suddenly hot. What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day.
Okay, well if you want, you don't have to look for it. It's right at the bottom of the channel. It should have a link that says YouTube, and you can just click from there.
All equipment in the labs lost power. All of a sudden, around, I don't know why I put a pause there, all of a sudden around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
Oh, jeez, they're talking now, they're talking.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. I thought her umbrella was like an afro just now. Sorry, her parasol, I guess I should say. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the case of the the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor.
Oh, it's sirens. I was hearing a noise and I thought it was like someone randomly screaming for no reason, like, oh! Sirens.
Whoopsie.
I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. Sorry, if it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. I'm screaming. Damn it, Flames. I can hear you all the way over here.
The defendant's testimony?
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that...
The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution also came to the same conclusion, and it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed.
See you later, Alter. I'll check out all those video stuff you posted.
Or I'll try to, but for sure check out the one. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order! Order in the court!
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madame Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
What the...
Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute.
This girl is a strawberry shortcake. It's so true. That's such a legit explanation. I mean description, not explanation.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Faye, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
enough, witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer's clear. It was 2:55 p.m.
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? Sorry. The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order in the court.
This is nonsense. The real murderer? Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you trying to... who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as the real killer?
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor. We're ready.
Very well. But remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay.
Okay, Jonah.
Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer?
It can only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne.
What? How? How can you...
The defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I know, it messes me up too, but that is actually how they say indict. I always used to say indict, and then I heard it on TV one day, and my mom told me how it was spelt, and I was like, what? English is weird. So yeah, English is weird. I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. The real killer's wasted pain.
Order, Miss Fay! What? I mean, why? That is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Did something happen to the audio? Wait, what happened? Are you guys... There was a voice distortion? Actually? I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are your ears okay? I don't know what happened. I didn't press anything. I didn't do anything. Are you guys okay? Did I... You guys are okay? That's weird. I don't know what happened. I didn't, Now I feel kind of sad. What happened? Okay. How can you say something so mean, Madame Fay? I didn't do anything. Is it okay now? Okay. I'm sorry it did that to you. I really don't know why. I don't know why. Oh. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. Achoo! You! What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now for the record.
What the? Are you daft?
You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she could do something like that.
No!
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Ah! Achoo! Achoo! Leave my Dolly alone! Achoo!
It's a lot of things going on, Phoenix. Ah, that boy.
He's gotten himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
You'd better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, Your Honor, I know, I was gonna say flames turned into a bot.
May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Ah, don't you worry, my dear. I have this situation well in hand. Go right ahead.
Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. Oh, Mike, don't do that. Almost banned you, and then I read your name. I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry. Please go on ahead.
How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
I believe this girl's trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. Thank you. You're supposed to feel sorry for her. That's what I'm going for with her voice. It's supposed to be over the top, really cute. Kind of wraps you around her little finger. Can do no wrong. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about?
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Thanks, Mike. What could that possibly have to do with this case?
Objection!
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. You get a Laura Bailey vibe from me? That's a huge compliment. Thank you. Laura Bailey's amazing. She's like one of the masters. Yep, she wants to hear the love story.
I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so...
oops, sorry, it's Phoenix.
We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again and you'll be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her!
What? Shut up. courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
We're so lovey-dovey that we share voices sometimes. It's true. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. If this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case...
I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's Maybelline. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases, Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I had come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing.
Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? Oh, what is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What? Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order! 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 This is unbelievable! It's true then. The loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorn.
Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me? Go right ahead.
Thanks, Clock. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see.
Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks.
Really, Grossberg?
I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
Please stop. Just stop talking.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
So that's what happened here 8 months ago.
However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Ugh! What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Aha! Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing.
wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab.
Boyfriend? You mean the victim Doug Swallow?
That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University.
Pharmacology?
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You.
No!
Order! 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 Could it be?
That's nothing but a baseless accusation.
May I say something, Madame Faye?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place.
Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're fine, Ben.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
Proof? She got me good with that. Come on, Mia, you got this.
Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
That's okay, Mike. It's always good to see you.
Sorry. The police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and the entire courthouse.
You take care too.
And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it?
You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was this witness's accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him disguised as a present.
What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount.
No!
Sorry, that wah came out weird. I didn't know she was going to say wah or what.
Order in the court.
Objection!
Whoa! The Phoenix objection!
On behalf of Dolly, I object.
Mr. Wright, control yourself.
I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you, anyway?
Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me, too.
Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is... she's madly in love with you. Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. Oh, poor Phoenix. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck.
My necklace?
Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself.
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back.
You're lying!
But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she...
I don't believe you. No! That's a lie!
Ah! You made Phoenix cry, Mia. Why would you do that?
Mia, are you alright? Ah, the defendant, he's getting away! Bailiff, hurry after him!
Oh my, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Mia! Are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane!
Where's Mr. Wright?
It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be brought back here soon.
Thank goodness. Oh no!
What is it?
The bottle necklace! Miss Hawthorne's present! It's gone!
What? That's terrible!
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy! That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now?
Feeny, don't be a dum-dum.
Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just give back the necklace.
I ate it.
You what?
You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah.
What the...
What? What is he doing now?
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it.
It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison.
How can you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you placed this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Ugh. Even though I've proven so much, is she going to get away with everything? Sorry, I just punched my mic. I apologize.
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I'd like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright! I'm sorry, Miss Fay. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say?
There's something I forgot to tell you.
It was a light punch. I'm sorry, microphone.
What is it? That day. The day I met Doug Swallow. That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey! It's none of your business! I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Sorry, I burped. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that!
Funny. Is it true? Did he really say that?
That's ridiculous! There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but... I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, this is... The defendant is... Miss Fay, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow.
The night before?
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone.
Miss Fay, if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore...
Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill?
There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Me?
That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how could that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible.
No, it can't be.
It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true!
Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman even count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne.
It appears that this trial will be coming to an end soon. Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say.
You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne.
We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack.
Sorry, I'm hearing some weird noises.
Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind.
But you're not finished.
Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already.
Hold it!
I can't let her get away this time.
Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence.
Is it a good voice change? Yes? I'm guessing so if you got scared.
You could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer.
The ultimate price?
You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No!
You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Fay. Or should I say, Miss Gray?
Well, Miss Fay, can you provide evidence that would establish your guilt once and for all?
If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof.
Impossible! You can't possibly!
Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I'll only allow one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
If you're unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will be immediately handed down on Mr. Wright.
Oh, thank you. I understand, Your Honor. That's why I really like voicing Dahlia. I like when I have characters like this. It's fun. It's fun to voice them.
I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar.
She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there.
Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that'll prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X? Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
What?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony.
But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us.
She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine.
I'd like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
Huh? What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace. which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. It's not very nice, Phoenix. You should have apologized. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they search me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. How many times does Mia have to say that, by the way? She mentioned it like twice. And they're still like, 8 months ago. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar.
Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being.
Victory is yours.
For the time being?
Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Oh? Yes!
I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Phew. It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said.
Huh?
Thank you. Thanks, Lemon.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said...
There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I'd trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
Actually, that reminds me, I should probably do a little... not really a demo reel, but maybe I should record some of Junko's lines. If you missed me playing it in Japanese where I did her voice. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see,
And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
my hair! It's flying off my beautiful hair! Ah, no! No!
Okay. Mr. Payne? About Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Don't lie, just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Fay,
Yes, Your Honor?
you said earlier that you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne knew each other?
Your Honor, how we knew each other had nothing to do with this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne.
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true. My dear
Dolly! Achoo! Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Ha 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 ha.
Who throws the confetti, I wonder?
The court is adjourned. I mean this court, god damn it. Any court, every court is adjourned. Mia, you were wonderful in there!
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius!
Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them? I should cover the Velvet Room theme using Payne's voice. I actually want to...
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client?
It's Gumshoe that throws it? Oh, sweet. I forgot about that part. I should have checked the manual now.
Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations.
Thanks. You know, I was thinking...
Go on.
The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her.
What?
Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something?
Do it with a Nanako wearing Tanaka mask dancing in the background. What? Boy, this poor kid still doesn't have a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably for the best.
Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little.
But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up.
Gee, what kind of company must this guy keep?
Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself.
That's what you keep saying.
Ah, doing well. How are you, Judge? Thanks for asking.
But I thought you were in the art department. Tanaka-fying.
Well, yeah, I guess I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time.
I see.
Say, Miss Fay, a lawyer's someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right?
Mr. Wright, I'm still new to this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings a lot of painful memories.
Oh, I might not be, though, because we just did this case, and then I usually try to do a case per stream, so I don't know. I don't think I'll be playing any more of this after this.
But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind.
Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief.
5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that's a story for another day.
Aww. The end. For now.